ever feel with the augmentation that he does, that coming as you go in, when he does, because he does augmentation by doubling, that almost when you first do the forced augmentation, you should slightly speed up to avoid it being too clunky. Because he does it twice, especially in the coda. I would think when you come off your G, when you go down to quarter notes, it almost feels like you should play slightly faster, so it doesn't feel like
Yes.
I can imagine Debussy actually would have probably had a bit more of a fight to get it to.
Exactly. He would have done.
But there's also
what Debussy would have done is he'd have done a weird tempo thing.
Yeah.
That's what he does in various places.
Yeah,
the last movement of the violin sonata is a kind of stitchy thing where you want that to be basically the same speed.
Actually, the end of the slow movement, the second movement of the violin sonata as well, with the untangling thing there. I speed up in the last bar in order to not
which you need to. Yes. End of the flute viola harp sonata. There's something similar.
But is there a complicating factor because he's playing with the idea of a kind of musical attic vase here as a monument? So curiously, he's simplified all the techniques, almost as if there's a certain neoclassical thing going on, isn't there? Yeah. I'm not going to use anything. The fact is, it's just duplets. There are no triplets.
That last chord, which he must know is flat, significantly, because I did this thing. I wrote something about this a while ago during the pandemic. But
I want to see it. You wrote about this piece.
Yeah.
Can you let me see it?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But the thing is, one of the things I did was I went and had a look at his use of harmonics over a little over 10 years, from the piano trio through, looking at where he uses the seventh flat harmonic, where he uses it so that it, because the way he does it in the piano trio, he covers it up both by using an augmented chord in the piano, but because you're going up the harmonic series, so it's okay that it's flat. You don't notice, but he's put a gliss on it. He's done various things to cover it up. But at the beginning of L'Enfant et les Sortilèges, he writes it in the double bass against oboes playing perfect fourths and fifths.
That's going to actually.
So it sounds foul. And of course, it's this recalcitrant child being revolting. So he knows every bit of the game. Here, it's a kind of Easter egg, isn't it? You find this thing. There's a way of getting there, and if you get it there and it's really lovely, it's fantastic.
Exactly. But also the one in Zagan, which people refinger, if the so that's always going to. Then the finger.
I didn't look at Zagan.
Because people finger it like this to get away from it, but he did. He clearly worked that out. Again, whatever. And I suspect that one of the reasons that Mohansh got angry with that piece was he took the work he'd done. I suspect he had lots of conversations with her about this.
The best thing is he's made the last of the chansons Madécasse, which is the cello, flute, piano, and mezzo. But the last of those, he's made a little Möbius strip at the beginning of it. The flute begins on a middle C, it does this thing, and then the cello comes in on natural harmonics, top of the G string, which you've got to then convert into stop pitches, and you stop on middle C, which the middle C on the cello sound with the mute off, and it's the same note, it's the same sound as the flute.
Yes, very much so,
which he knows exactly. So he's done that, and then the flute begins it again. So you've kind of gone around the other side. So it's very clever. But Ravel supervised a recording of that in 1932, with Madeleine Gray singing, and the cellist plays all artificial harmonics.
My goodness.
Because clearly they are unreliable, and they just mustn't have been working in the session.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing to remember. He's a very pragmatic man.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever works will be fine.
But there's the pragmatism, curiously, is the thing that points you in the direction of the idealism, because there's never any fat on the material. So if you encrust it with anything, it's why I get so angry with whenever I see Violinist X giving masterclasses on Zagan, where the one thing that's not being referred to is the score. Because you think, well,
it's ridiculous. And the funny thing is about that recording, so all the harmonics are wrong, but my God, the way they hand middle Cs to one another,
Yeah.
because half the time people don't notice how it works. So you just get this embarrassing thing, because it should basically be invisible that it started again. And of course that's beautiful, which is the thing that he cares about.
Yes, exactly.
So what you always just goes, this is more important than that, which is more important than the album.
You think about the number of times he does in this piece where lines are handed across.
Yeah.
Where you have to, there's no, the line is the primary scene, not the person playing it.
Yes.